Listen carefully, what you are about to hear is valuable, and most people will ignore it. You were taught to believe that power is complicated. That wealth is confusing. That influence is reserved for rare people, smarter, luckier, chosen. That belief did not come from nowhere. It was installed. Because people who believe power is unreachable never try to reach it. And people who never try are easy to direct. Here is the first fracture in the story you were told. Power is not complex. It is not mystical. It is not hidden behind talent or destiny. It is mechanical, cold, predictable, repeatable. The reason most people never touch it has nothing to do with intelligence, and almost nothing to do with opportunity. It has everything to do with obedience. You were trained to operate inside a moral framework that rewards compliance and punishes effectiveness. Be patient. Be grateful. Be humble. Wait your turn. That framework does not exist to help you win. It exists to keep the system stable. If power rewarded virtue, the world would look nothing like it does. Look around. You were told that being good pays off. That hard work is noticed. That sacrifice is respected. That suffering earns future reward. That belief is emotionally comforting. It is also false. Reality does not reward intention. It rewards utility. The world does not ask how hard you tried. It asks what you control. And this is where most people lose their footing, because they confuse how things should work with how they actually work. That confusion is expensive. You can spend decades being admirable and remain powerless. Because admiration is not leverage. Here is the inversion that makes people uncomfortable. Being good is not a strategy. It is a personality trait. And the market does not compensate personality. It compensates outcomes. The world is not organized around fairness. It is organized around effectiveness. People who solve problems are rewarded. People who endure problems are ignored. Suffering has no inherent value. It only feels meaningful to the person experiencing it. And once you understand that, the illusion cracks. 500 years ago, Machiavelli studied power without sentiment. He did not ask how leaders should behave. He asked how they survive. What he found was disturbing enough that polite society spent centuries pretending he was immoral, instead of admitting he was accurate. Empires collapsed. Kings were executed. Governments changed hands. But the rules underneath never changed. Fear binds faster than love. Dependence lasts longer than loyalty. Perception shapes reality more than truth. Machiavelli did not invent power. He removed the lies around it. There are two types of people in every system. Those who follow the script. And those who write it. Most people are trained to follow. They are taught to wait. To ask permission. To trade time for approval. They are rewarded with stability until they are no longer needed. The second group understands something uncomfortable. Rules are not moral truths. They are tools. And tools are used by those who understand them. If this bothers you, this documentary is not for you. If it pulls your attention closer, you already feel the difference. Here is the part no one likes to admit. The system does not need everyone to wake up. It only needs most people asleep. Compliant people keep the wheels turning. Obedient people stabilize hierarchies. But a small percentage operate under a different rule set entirely. They are not smarter. They are not braver. They simply stopped confusing morality with mechanics. And once you see that distinction, you cannot unsee it. If you are still listening, something matters more to you than comfort. Most people leave at this point. They retreat back into the familiar lie, because it is warmer there. Good. This is not for them. In the next act, we dismantle the first mechanism that keeps people powerless. The belief that effort creates wealth. It doesn't. And once you see what actually does, the game changes permanently. Most people believe effort equals reward. They were told that working harder, staying longer, enduring more, will eventually produce wealth. That belief is a trap. Effort alone has almost no value. The market does not pay for labor. It pays for impact. If effort created power, the construction worker baking in the sun would be a billionaire, and the strategist moving millions from a laptop would be broke. Reality proves the opposite. Money flows toward those who solve urgent, expensive, unavoidable problems. The greater the pain, the greater the reward for removing it. Look at your life. Are you trading hours for dollars? Then you are a peasant in the economy of pain. You are selling the finite resource of your life for a fixed return. That is a losing game. The wealthy do not trade time. They trade solutions. They identify where people are bleeding, and they position themselves as the only remedy. If the problem you solve is small, common, or easily replaced, you are replaceable. Replaceable people have no leverage. Leverage is the only currency that matters. Ask yourself, what pain would disappear if you did not exist? If the answer is not much, you are invisible in the system. That is dangerous. Most people never see this. They are blind to the economics of pain. They work for the reward, not for control. And control is everything. Effort is for laborious. Strategy is for rulers. The first step toward mastery is brutal clarity. Stop selling your time. Start selling solutions. Stop thinking about comfort. Start thinking about scarcity, urgency, and value. The second lesson is cunning. Brute force will never replace intelligence. Most of you were raised on the doctrine of hard work, the donkey doctrine. Pull the stone. Carry the load. Keep your head down. That makes you respectable. It does not make you powerful. Machiavelli knew that strength alone is suicide. You must pair force with cunning. The donkey carries until collapse. The fox surveys the terrain and avoids the burden. Leverage multiplies output without multiplying effort. Human leverage. Hire, delegate, coordinate. Capital leverage. Let money work for you while you sleep. System leverage. One effort, infinite reach. If you must be present to earn, you are trapped. You are a cog. Scarcity multiplies value. If only you can deliver a solution, you dictate the terms. If anyone can do it, you obey them. You are either the fox or the donkey. Most people remain donkeys. They confuse effort with progress. They confuse work with influence. Here is the third truth. Perception outweighs reality. You are not compensated for skill. You are compensated for what others believe about your skill. A mediocre professional with authority, confidence, and scarcity will outperform a genius who appears desperate. Humans follow hierarchy, not merit. Urgency signals weakness. Accessibility signals low demand. Cheapness signals risk. High status selects. This is why pricing is not arithmetic. It is psychological. Charge too little, and you attract problems. Charge strategically, and you command respect. Never negotiate from need. Walk away whenever necessary. The strongest position is the one that is independent of the outcome. Authority whispers. Weakness begs. The fourth law of mechanics is subtraction. You do not need more, you need less. Noise, distractions, mediocre company, endless consumption, all drain your leverage. Poverty spreads through tolerance. If you permit mediocrity around you, it infects your thinking. Attention is raw material. Focus is dominance. Remove what does not build the asset. No excuses. The fifth law is transaction without guilt. You were taught money is immoral. You were taught ambition is corrupt. That belief ensures compliance. Reality does not reward intention. It rewards results. Every exchange involves displacement. Someone gains, someone loses. Compete or be irrelevant. Kindness without strategy is invisible. Boundaries without hesitation are respected. Those who prioritize approval are manipulable. Those who prioritize outcomes survive. Machiavelli advised rulers to act effectively, not morally. The system is indifferent to your feelings. Your gain will be perceived as greed. Embrace it. That judgment is irrelevant. What matters is efficiency. The sixth truth is retention. Money is useless if it does not stay. Wealth is what remains. The world is engineered to extract what you build through consumption, inflation, taxes, social pressure. Luxury before independence is a trap. Assets first. Comfort later. Power compounds quietly. Visibility invites predators. Silence preserves accumulation. Speak less. Build more. The seventh and final principle of this act is time, your ultimate leverage. Every second spent on low-value tasks is a theft from your future self. Delegation is not arrogance. It is strategy. If your hours are wasted on replaceable work, you are replaceable. Scarcity increases value. Guard your time. Presence is a signal. Absence is leverage. Your effective hourly rate is the single most important metric you will ever track. The moment you detach income from time, you step out of the labor trap. If you cannot see this, you will remain powerless. This is the mechanics of control. Pain, cunning, perception, subtraction, transactions, retention, and time. Master these, and the rules of the game tilt in your favor. Ignore them, and you remain a servant. Most people will never look. Most will never act. If you are still here, you already sense the difference. In the next act, we will dismantle your identity. We will show how isolation, removal, and ruthless focus are unavoidable consequences of power. We will accelerate the pressure. Once we proceed, there is no turning back. Most people define themselves by comfort, approval, and familiarity. Friends, family, co-workers, they become mirrors of your limitations. You measure your worth by their acceptance. That is the identity trap. If you remain who you are, you remain powerless. The first step to mastery is to dismantle that self. You are not defined by niceness. You are not defined by loyalty. You are defined by the problems you solve and the leverage you create. Every person around you has an effect. Some elevate. Most anchor. The tolerance you permit creates the boundaries of your prison. People who complain about the economy, who fear freedom, who cling to safety, their victimhood spreads. If you absorb it, you stagnate. Machiavelli was ruthless about the composition of a court. Parasites, jesters, traitors, remove them. You are no different. The second step is removing distraction. Noise is a weapon used against you. Social media, endless scrolling, superficial entertainment, gossip, all drain your attention and reinforce compliance. Every hour spent consumed by distraction strengthens the system that keeps you small. Focus is the currency of the few. If you cannot concentrate for 4 hours on a single high-value task, you are irrelevant. The third step is status awareness. Humans instinctively follow power. If you project weakness, others exploit it. If you project scarcity, confidence, and competence, resources align toward you. Your appearance, speech, availability, and digital footprint are all signals. Audit them ruthlessly. Are you presenting yourself as a commodity, replaceable and weak? Or are you signaling that you are indispensable? The fourth step is moral recalibration. You were taught that money is greedy, that ambition is selfish, that accumulation is immoral. That lesson ensures mediocrity. Machiavelli taught that rulers must prioritize effectiveness over morality. Stop thinking in terms of good or bad. Think in terms of leverage and outcomes. Every transaction, every negotiation, every opportunity must be approached as a system. Guilt is poison. Indifference is power. The fifth step is brutal prioritization. Your life is finite. Every second spent on low-value people or tasks is theft from your future self. Ruthlessly remove what does not serve your goals. Friends, habits, apps, obligations, if it does not elevate your leverage, evict it. Scarcity amplifies value. The sixth step is social isolation as a tool, not punishment. Once you begin this process, the weak will leave. They cannot follow. They will criticize, complain, and attempt to pull you back into their comfort. Let them go. The discomfort you feel is evidence of progress. Comfort is the prison of mediocrity. True mastery isolates before it liberates. The seventh step is self-confrontation. The person you were built to be is not compatible with the life you were taught to desire. Approval, acceptance, and empathy are anchors. You must murder the version of yourself that seeks validation. Only then can you rebuild as the architect of influence. The eighth step is embracing fear. Fear of being alone, misunderstood, envied, or criticized is natural. The elite thrive inside that fear. They act while the masses hesitate. If you are not willing to be called ruthless, greedy, obsessive, or cold, you will never step beyond average. This is the cost of ascension. The ninth step is identity alignment. Every action, every investment, every relationship must reinforce the version of yourself that commands leverage, not approval. If it does not, it is poison. By the end of this act, most listeners have dropped away. They retreat to warmth, familiarity, and the herd. That is the measure of their weakness. If you are still listening, you are no longer ordinary. You are awake. You are among the rare few who sense the rules and are willing to execute them. In the next act, we will take the principles you have learned and apply them to the ultimate frontier. The capture of time, retention of power, and creation of asymmetry. Once we proceed, the world you knew will feel distant. You will no longer relate to old friends. Comfort is a memory. You are being forged into the person capable of wealth, influence, and freedom. Prepare for isolation. Prepare for ruthlessness. Prepare to become necessary, unreplicable, and unstoppable. Time is the final frontier. Every second you waste is irretrievable. Most people sell their lives for pennies, trading presents for minor convenience, small approval, or fleeting entertainment. The rich buy time. They delegate, automate, and eliminate low-value tasks. If you clean your own house, wait in lines, or chase minor savings, you are literally burning money. Your hours have a price. Guard them like gold. Treat every moment as leverage. Presence is currency. Absence multiplies value. The second truth is asymmetry. The world rewards disproportionate outcomes. Most people play fair, obey rules, and accept capped returns. That is safe. That is slow. That is losing. The few hunt asymmetry. They risk time, energy, and capital where the upside is infinite, the downside limited. This is the unfair advantage. Your skill, your location, your network, your obsession, weaponize it. Attack the weak points the world ignores. Do not compete. Dominate. Specialize until you are unreplicable. The third truth is autonomy. True power is the ability to act without external constraint. When income is detached from your presence, when influence flows from leverage, when status is earned, not given, you wake up and decide. That is freedom. That is wealth. Everything else is shiny handcuffs. Luxury purchased before independence is a trap. True luxuries are financed by the machines you build, assets, businesses, investments. The asset works. You rest. The fourth truth is retention. Build, protect, and multiply your capital. The system is designed to extract your gains through consumption, inflation, taxes, and social pressure. If you spend everything you earn, you are a conduit, not an accumulator. The fortress of retention is mandatory. Silence preserves accumulation. Visibility invites predators. Protect what you build. The fifth truth is ruthlessness in scarcity. Do not negotiate from need. Do not tolerate inefficiency. Scarcity increases power. Time, skill, and presence are limited. Guard them. Walk away whenever necessary. Authority is enforced through boundaries. The sixth truth is the final moral shift. The world does not care about your intentions. It only responds to results. Guilt is irrelevant. Kindness without leverage is weakness. Machiavelli taught rulers to act effectively, not morally. Apply that to your life. Every action, every transaction, every interaction is a system. Act coldly. Act decisively. The seventh and ultimate truth is inevitability. The mechanics are simple. Identify pain, solve problems, leverage systems, protect capital, buy back time. Discipline is the only variable. Execute consistently, and wealth is inevitable. Ignore these laws, and you remain replaceable, powerless, ordinary. Once you proceed beyond this act, the door closes. You will no longer relate to old friends. Comfort will be distant. You will be misunderstood, envied, even feared. That is the cost of ascension. The comfortable world is gone. Only the path of the awake remains. The final initiation is yours to choose. You build, or you remain a servant to time, effort, and circumstance. There is no external savior. There is no bailout. There is no luck. There is only you, the mechanics, and the discipline to execute. This is the point of no return. Once you embrace it, you become necessary. You become unreplicable. You become unstoppable. Most people have already left. They clicked away when the truth got uncomfortable. They returned to warmth, familiarity, and mediocrity. That is not you. If you are still listening, you have crossed a threshold. You are no longer ordinary. You are awake. You have seen the mechanics behind the world. You understand leverage, perception, scarcity, asymmetry, and time. You have confronted your own weakness. You have begun the dismantling of your old identity. And now, there is no turning back. This is the initiation. You will never relate to your old circle in the same way. Friends, colleagues, even family, they are trapped in the systems you are learning to master. They will not understand. They may resent you. Let them. Your focus cannot bend to their comfort. Your mission is not to be liked. Your mission is to be necessary. You are being forged into a rare individual. One who can solve problems others cannot, who can manipulate leverage, who commands time and capital with the precision most will never imagine. Isolation is not punishment. It is proof of elevation. Comfort is the enemy of power. Silence becomes your ally. Discipline becomes your weapon. Every moment, every action, every choice must reinforce the system you are building, yourself as an asset. There is a cold beauty in this clarity. Life is no longer about approval, luck, or waiting. Life is about execution. The mechanics are simple. Pain exists. You remove it. Systems exist. You leverage them. Time exists. You own it. People exist. You make yourself necessary. Capital exists. You retain it. Fear exists. You embrace it. That is the blueprint. The variable is you. Will you execute relentlessly when no one is watching? Will you act when the world tells you to wait? Will you enforce boundaries that leave comfort behind? If your answer is yes, wealth, influence, and freedom are not possibilities. They are inevitabilities. You are no longer asking permission. You are no longer waiting for validation. You are building, and the world will follow. The herd is irrelevant. The awake are rare. The gap between them and the ordinary is wide. You have stepped across it. Once you act from this point forward, you will notice a silence. People who once defined your world will fade. Complaints will sound distant. Mediocrity will appear unbearable. That is the sound of power forming around you. You will feel alone before you feel unstoppable. That is the nature of ascension. This is your initiation. You have the tools. You have the blueprint. You have the knowledge. The only question left is, will you act? Will you build the systems, the leverage, the identity, the autonomy that the world has never taught you to create? Or will you retreat to comfort like the millions who clicked away before? The choice is yours. But remember, once you see the strings, once you understand the rules, you can no longer be a puppet. You are awake. You are capable. You are rare. The world has been laid bare before you. Now go. Execute. Build. Dominate. If this opened your eyes, subscribe, share your insights, and watch my other videos to continue building your advantage.